Yeah, like take off all your chains. First of all, I don't like men that wear chains. I'm sorry.
I love my chains.
That's too feminine for me. I don't like
How
that.
is it feminine?
It's just like, what are you trying to flash for? What are you like? You baiting for something? What are you trying to like get?
No, it ain't a bait. It's just I like it. I like it. And in our culture, we were kings and things of that nature, and we wore jewelry and things of that nature. So
Well, kings wore crowns. I don't see a crown on your head.
You are now tuned into the Hustle Reset Podcast with your host, Mike Bands.
what it do, what the business is right now, y'all tuned into another episode of the Hustle Reset Podcast, and today's guest is a real life rebrand story. She didn't just switch lanes, she mastered discipline first. From competitive tennis to content creation to controlling viral conversations, she built a platform without selling her voice. She's interviewed the internet's most controversial voices, and she walked away respected. She turned height into presence into power, and conversation into currency. She is proof that discipline creates confidence, and confidence reshapes destiny. I want to welcome to the Hustle Reset Podcast, Miss Courtside Les. How you feeling?
Oh my God, this is a beautiful introduction. I'm like, I got chills right now. It's not because it's cold, but this is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. You deserve it. You deserve it. I love your content.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm honestly blessed. Honored to be on your show. So I'm excited. I feel like we're going to have a great conversation.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Before we get started, tell the people the name of your podcast and where they can follow you at.
So my personal social media is Courtside Les, all over Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube too. So my show is called Talk Less Show with one S. So it's less me. Right. And you can find it on Instagram, Talk Less Show, on TikTok, Talk Less Show, on Facebook, Talk Less Show, and on YouTube, it's all under Courtside Les. But if you just type in Talk Less Show, you will see the podcast under my Courtside Les account.
All right, so y'all make sure y'all follow her. Run up her numbers. We definitely got to run up her numbers and run up the Hustle Reset Podcast numbers. That's why we got on the show, because I know she's going to run my numbers up. Yep.
I can talk, you know.
All right, and speaking of talking, we hear a hint of an accent. Can you please tell us what accent that is?
I was born and raised in Russia.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing about me. I learned English when I was 14. So I used to hear English here and there because I went to like so-called English school in Russia, meaning that I would go and take English classes, but I didn't really speak a word of English. I was just there honestly messing around because I was like, I wouldn't need that. And then my mom asked me if I want to go to Australia when I was 14, and I said, absolutely. So when I went to Australia for the first time by myself at 14, didn't speak a word of English, so I had to pick it up there. Then by 17, I was already speaking English. And at 18, I went to the UK, so I picked up some of the accent from the UK. And then at 19, I moved to California.
Wow. And where you reside now?
In Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow. How do you move around so much?
I used to move so much when I was a kid because, well, first of all, I lived in Australia. You know, I was doing my school so-called so I can get my English certification proficiency in the language, because you have to do that in order to go to school overseas. Okay. So I wanted to go to school. Well, my dream was to go to school in Monaco and France, but I ended up going to school in the UK. I went to Sheffield.
This gonna make some noise. My bad. All right, I ain't wanted to over. All right, so go ahead. My bad.
So I went to school in Sheffield and then moved to California, but my mom said, you have to go to school in the U.S. I'm not going to pay for your school in Europe. So that's how I ended up in California, to be honest. It wasn't really anything that I wanted to do or dreamed of doing, to be honest. I never wanted to go to the U.S.
What's wrong with the U.S.?
To me, it's always been I don't care about this American dream. I don't care about this Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, all those billboards on Times Square. Yeah. I never cared for it. I just wanted to get a good degree and I wanted to be happy with where I'm at, and I wanted to go to school in Monaco just because I went to Monaco when I was 18. Actually, my mom gave it to me as a birthday gift. We went to Monaco for my 18th birthday and I had an amazing time. I just really felt like I was comfortable and at home there, and it was so beautiful. But then when it came down to actual education, U.S. has the best education in the world. So, you know, that was always an agreement with my mom that she's going to pay for my school and that I'm going to go to a 4-year degree school somewhere where it's like ranked university.
Right.
So it was a very big deal. And so she was like, you're going to the U.S. It wasn't even a question.
Yeah, that's good. That's what's up, that she cared that much about your education to make you go to a whole nother country.
I'm the least educated out of my family.
Really?
I've never spoken on that. Yes. So my brother has 2 master's degrees. My mom has a PhD. My grandparents, all of them have master's degrees. My dad has a master's degree. And so I have a half of the master's degree, but I never completed my MBA.
Okay.
So I am literally the least educated out of my entire family. But education in Russia is #1 priority, though. Like, it's so big. And they want you to study economics, finance, doctors, engineering. Like, you know, you need to do something that's like tangible, something that's real.
Yeah.
So when I went to school in California, my mom was like, so what's your major? Because she thought I was going to do economics and finance.
Yeah.
That's what I started in the UK, and I hated it. You know what was my major?
What?
Communications.
Oh, Lord. What did she say when you told her that?
She was like, what in the world is that? Can I curse on here?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. We got it. Let's go 5 minutes. After we get 5 minutes, we say whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, she was like, what the hell is that? Why are you, what? Like, what does that even mean? Little did she know that I studied editing. I studied production. I started lighting. I started like lighting, like as far as like the setup production, you know, the whole, like, we used to make documentaries. We used to edit different movies and stuff, interpersonal communication. And nobody thought that was going to translate to my life.
Right. And look
where I'm at now.
Exactly.
And I just told her that the other day. I was like, look at how everything manifested itself.
Right. Yep. Sometimes the path that we unintentionally go on is the path that we're gonna end up meeting at the end. Like that's what it was the whole time. Like, so you just gotta just kind of go with the flow a little bit.
Because I've always wanted to be good at like communication, at just the social sciences, because I was so good at math. I was very logical, and I think I got so tired of doing this like logical stuff like math, physics, chemistry. So I got really burnt out doing that by age of 18. Because when I came to the US, and mind you, like, I'm a very, very smart person. Like, I had very good grades in school, and I'm very proud of it. Like, I graduated with 3.7 GPA.
Oh, wow.
You know, I had honors all throughout. And when I first came to California, because you have to do a test so you can get placed into the right classes, I passed the calculus that they were like, listen, we don't have any classes for you. Like, you are at the level of math that, like, this is beyond the 4-year degree.
Oh, that's crazy.
So, because I did calculus, like I did integrals in high school, like that's what we did. So, and then when I went to the UK, I had like this intense applied math course. So I was just so good at that but I couldn't write essays.
You couldn't write essays?
I could not write essays.
What was the most like the part that you struggle with the essays? Because I used to love writing essays.
See, it's a difference between an American brain and a Russian brain, because we're very much like practical science stuff. It's not really, we don't do this, let's think about, let's talk about, let's like, there is a statement and then you have to support the statement.
Right, yeah.
So when I was actually my first grade, I remember my teacher told my mom that she doesn't write with a logic. She does, like, it's not logical, whatever she writes. Her essays are very like scattered and they're not like in a structure.
Oh, yeah.
So because what I would do to this day, I would have like 5 ideas that I would drop in there. And they don't like that. They want you to put like 3 main ideas. You have to write an intro, 3 main ideas, and then conclusion to it. But I'd be like, but what about this? And then what about that? And then maybe this and maybe that. And so like I would always go and explore all different solutions and things and whatever I think. And then they hated that.
Yeah, it got to be formatted just like down to the T. You got to have your transition words, all of that, like everything.
I had to learn that.
Yeah, I love that. And to this day, like, it just stuck with me. Like, I don't know. I just love writing essays and just writing stuff. That was like one of my strongest like subjects in school. Like, just writing. Like, I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
I don't mind writing now because I had to teach myself. I had to learn. Because one thing, so I did about 4 years in therapy. And one thing that my therapist taught me, she said, your brain thinks so fast that you need to slow down. And when you write, that's when you slow down.
Oh, I never thought thought about it like that.
Because your thoughts really slow down. And so, like, you know, because you can only write so fast, right?
Right.
So your mind might be pacing, but the only way to slow it down,
You gotta write.
you got to write. Because, you know, you would have to, and sometimes you would have something that you want to say and then boom, you forget, right?
Yep.
And that's how your brain is going to filter out what you don't need.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of thinking. If you want to slow down your thoughts, just write.
Yeah, just write.
You don't have to take any medication because they try to prescribe you all kinds of medication when you're in therapy, and you don't need it.
It depends. I mean, it depends what kind of therapy you're doing, because there's so many different types of therapy that you can do. That you can go the psychiatry route. I mean, again, listen, there's some people who have a very bad chemical imbalance and they can't control it. Sometimes you need to kickstart with medication, but I'm a firm believer that you can do it without.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what kind of therapy I was sent to because I went to 2 separate ones, and each one was trying to prescribe me medication. And then when they did my psychological evaluation, they was like, "Oh, well, what everything that you're going through is just situational, like, but we still want to prescribe you something to help." I'm like, if it's situational, why do I need to take medicine? Like, I don't understand why they try to push the medication. So what is it?
Psychiatrist.
Okay, yeah.
So it's 2 different types. So there's a psychologist and there's a psychiatrist.
Right.
So psychologist is the one that will have like conversational therapy, so they cannot prescribe you any medicine.
Yeah.
Psychiatrists, though, on the other hand, they're going to prescribe you medicine. And so a lot of times they're not actually going to go into the therapy of like having conversations with you.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like, okay, they're going to give you a test most likely. And then they're going to be like, okay, based on your response, you fit into this category and then you need to get prescribed this kind of medicine. So it's different times, but the one that I went to was very different. It was like a cognitive therapy, and it was like I talk a lot about that. It's a lot of imagination stuff. It's a lot of working with your subconscious more than anything. I'm a firm believer in that. I actually do a lot of stuff. Like I'm very much into energy healing. Not into like witchcraft stuff, but like you know, very much energy healing. Like I do Reiki every single month. I'm very much into tapping into subconscious. I've done a lot of what is it called? The hypnotherapy. I've done that. Done a lot of like imagination stuff just because so I can like kickstart my creative too.
Yeah.
Firm believer in that. And I think it really works.
Yeah. And I think I actually went to go see someone outside of therapy. It was like, I don't want to say she a witch, but when I went to her house, she had a whole bunch of witches on her thing. But we was going over a lot of energy stuff, and she would give me certain things to do.
Like what?
So one, she gave me this. It was some type of I don't know what it was. It was something in a bottle. It was a potion or something. I don't know. And every morning I would have to put it in a cup, and I would have to pee in the cup, and then I would go outside, and whatever I wanted from the universe, I would say what I wanted, and then I'd throw it towards the sun, like whatever way the sun was rising. When I was going through my court stuff, because I was facing like 5 years in prison, and I went to go see her before I went to my court thing, and everything she told me to do, she told me to bathe in the same substance that she gave me, put it in my bath water, and put it in there, and use the rag. And the rag, I had to use it every single day leading up until my court date, and the night before, I needed to take that rag, don't wash it or nothing, so I took the rag, I had to take it to a river, and she said, say what you want when you go to court and throw it over your shoulder. And she said, no matter what you hear, when that rag hit the water, do not turn around, because whatever you trying to put in motion is not gonna work. So I'm like, okay. So I did what she said do. I took the rag. I said what I wanted the outcome to be in court. I threw the rag. It hit the water. I heard boom. I was like, what the? I wanted to turn around so bad because I'm like, how the hell do a rag make a noise that loud? But I did not turn around. I went to court the next day. And the U.S. attorney, she did such a good job. I would have convicted myself. That's how good she did. But the judge looked at the U.S. attorney and was like, Michael's never been to prison, and he not going to prison today on my watch. Yo, tears just started flowing down my face.
Okay.
Like, I was like, oh shit, this shit worked for real. Like my lawyer didn't even have to really put up a fight. Like it was just it was already made up in her mind before I went in there, because I was just like, I want the judge to have favor, and when she see me, I want her to see her grandson when she see me, and that's what it was.
Interesting. Yeah. So that is kind of like that's a part of witchcraft.
Oh, okay.
But it's the thing is, I think the reality of anything is that our brains are so powerful that whatever you put your mind to, that's what's going to happen. And so whatever way, whatever thing you need to use in order to get there, that's what's going to happen, right? So sometimes it's like, when you read The Secret, right? Yeah. It's all about the power of your thoughts.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, that's why sometimes people will get very religious or whatever can work for them. Yeah. That's what they're going to use. Like, there's different energetic stuff, like, you can burn sage, you can burn like different incenses and stuff, like, and they will, kind of like if you put your mind to it, you think about it, then like they literally are going to channel that.
No, for sure.
So I've never done none of the potion stuff. I've never done none of that.
I had neither. I was scared to do it, but somebody had recommended me to go, and they told me about a family member of mine's situation because they were supposed to go to prison. Yeah. And they did the same thing. And everybody around them went to prison except for them. And I was like, let me try. I ain't got nothing else to lose. Let me try it. And it worked. It really worked. Yeah. But so speaking about, I guess, religions and stuff, we didn't necessarily use that word. But I am interested in hearing your perspective on religion because we are two different races. And not only two different races, but nationalities as well. You're from Russia. So I want to know what y'all's take, because in the Black community, we are big on like Christianity and like stuff like that. So I want to know, like, what is your take on religion?
I mean, Russia has 3 main religions. It's Christianity, but it's Christian Orthodox, Muslim, and Jewish. Okay. So those are the 3 main ones that you would find. But you would find something like Jehovah's Witnesses there too. You will find like there are temples for that. Yeah. They're like kingdom hosts. That's what they're called.
Okay. Yeah, we got those here.
Then there are different religions, and the thing is, like, Russia does not place so much separation on the religion, right? Like. If you belong to a certain religion, and again, I'm speaking of Russia that I knew. I don't know how Russia is now, so let's just put that in consideration, because I don't know how it's now. I haven't been there since.
I want to know about your personal.
My personal, I so a lot of times you would be raised as a Christian Orthodox. So I never really cared so much about that because the thing for me was that I couldn't believe in something that I couldn't see. So I'd follow the lead of whatever was going on and like would have to go to church and stuff. Yeah. But like I would go to church and like, in our churches, you have your knees covered, your head covered for women. It's kind of like, you have to cover everything and then you have to be quiet. So you can't speak in a church. So my experience was that, that's what I've seen. But then I kind of stopped going to church because I didn't want to. Yeah. And like, my family has toyed around with different religions and stuff. And like, and there's a reason for that because my uncle went missing in the 90s. And so my grandparents were just trying to understand how to deal with the tragedy. And so they kind of like were looking for any hope that they could find. Yeah. And so they went to Jehovah's Witnesses, they went to Christianity, they went to everything and anything. Yeah. So it was kind of like, it was crazy. It's like, but the thing is, like, as kids, we were never involved, which is great. Yeah. But then, one of my things was when I first went to Australia, I was never around. It was like my 2nd or 3rd time being outside of the country, right? And I've never been to a Christian church where people sing and have fun. Yeah. So I remember I walk into a church and people are singing and I freak out because I don't know a church where you can sing, like where you can have fun, where you can talk. In our churches, you don't talk. Like,
oh Lord. So have you been to Black church before?
I haven't.
Oh, that's
because I do watch church online though. Yeah. So I watch church online, but I don't go to churches because I don't really see the need in going somewhere. Like, I feel like God is within you.
That's a fact.
So I don't really see a need, and I understand that a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's the energy, it's this and that, and it's like, for me, I can find that energy within me. I have enough resource where it's, I can listen to a book and I would feel just as inspired. I can listen to a pastor speak and I'll feel just as inspired. Yeah. And when I was 18, when I lived in the UK, I actually started learning so many different religions. I was very interested because it was so mesmerizing to me. Yeah. So I remember I met this girl, she was Baha'i, and I was like, what is Baha'i? Have you ever heard about Baha'is? You probably wouldn't even know.
I don't know what that is.
So crazy. Yeah. she was from Kazakhstan, and so she taught me about the religion. It was such a beautiful religion. It was it's a religion that's been prosecuted from Iran, so it's originated in Iran.
Okay.
And so they actually every Baha'i was sent away from Iran, so they were prosecuted. Like literally, you could not, if you were a Baha'i, you would get killed. So that's how bad it was. And so they all left Iran and they spread across the world, and they have communities all over the world.
Yeah.
And so somehow my friend ended up being Baha'i, and so I was just learning so much about the religion. And then like I was reading a lot of different books where I would just read about different religions too, because it was just so mesmerizing to me. Funny story, when I moved to the US, my first boyfriend was Baha'i.
Oh wow. What?
It was the
I was-
craziest thing in
yeah.
the world. And this is, I'm telling you, the law of attraction, right? Because
Yep.
I was like, wow, this is so beautiful. Like the religion itself, yes, they don't drink, they don't have sex before marriage. Well, mind you, you know, there's rules and there's rule followers. So it's two different things. But it was a very beautiful, you know, the relationship was very toxic because we were very young.
Right.
But as a religion itself, you know, I got to be around a lot of Baha'is, and it was just such a beautiful thing. It was a very inviting religion. It was a very like community based, honestly. Like you just do everything together, and then you support one another. And in any city you go to, you know, because he was driving across the country and he was staying at people's places who were Baha'is. So, you know, he never had to get a hotel or anything. So he could just reach out, and then like he would have a place to stay. He would have a plate to eat, you know. So it was like great thing.
Now, Christians, y'all listen to that, because I know some Christians, you show up to their door, they will not let you stay at their place. So what is it, Baha'is?
Baha'is, yeah.
I said it right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, it's see, the thing is, what I've learned in the last couple of years, especially living in Atlanta, there's a lot of people who are calling themselves God-fearing men, God-fearing women. But what they're going to do is they're going to go to church on Sunday, then they're going to hit the brunch spot at 2 p.m.
Yep.
They're going to get very lit. They might hook up with a girl or a guy.
Right.
And then they're going to go about their day forgetting anything and everything that they learn in church.
Yep.
And then on Monday, they're going to post on Instagram with, you know, a verses from a Bible or something, and a verse from a Bible. And then they would say like, something like some sort of something from a Bible, you know, as
some
if
type of quote or something.
some type of quote. But it's like a lot of times I would have a conversation. I'm like, but you don't even live by the word of God.
Right.
You know, you might read the Bible, but do you actually read the Bible?
Yeah. And me personally, I don't think that is the word of God, like, because men wrote that book. So those are the words of men and how they shaped it for people to live their lives by.
But I think that's in every religion, though. So it's not really necessarily the word of God. What it is like, it's the story, it's the legends that we read, right? So it's the stories that teach you how to be a human. And so but if you actually read the Bible, if you translate the Bible, it's just normal circumstances that happen. And so it's like different scenarios that can happen and different outcomes that can happen, right? And it just shows different types of people, right? Like evil people, the holy people, so the spiritual people, people who sacrifice. So it shows you the difference of life and the ebbs and flows of life.
Right.
So it's the same thing with any other reading, you know, like I read, I used to read Krishnamurti a lot. I don't know if you know, that's like an Indian philosopher. And it was the same thing. Like, you know, they say that the Krishnamurti is the truth, right? But the reality is it's a person who would just translate the thoughts. And then if you read the thoughts, it's like, okay, this is just like philosophical truth, you know? Right. Maybe not truth, because there's no such thing as a true or truth. There's no universal truth. There is no such thing as right or wrong, but it's just the teaching of the way of life.
Right.
And if you read, I mean, any story you would read dating from back in the, you know, ADs, you would understand that the life has always been the same. People have always been the same. It's just the times are changing, but people have always lived the same. We're all going to go through the same experiences. Yeah. If you read a philosopher, somebody from 1800s, it's going to be the same experience. The only difference maybe now is there's addition to social media. That's it. Yeah. But other than that, as a human being, we're still going to go through the same experiences.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. But another thing that I want to speak on though is, I don't know, like when I read the Bible, I am so confused as to why like a lot of women, they cling on to that for dear life, because they don't paint women in a good light in the Bible. Like most of the women that's in the Bible, they've done wicked things, like Eve. We know about the story of her. Samson and Delilah. Have you heard about that? She cut Samson's hair and stuff like that. just a lot of women that they paint in the Bible is not. They haven't done great things, but it's always men who've done great things. Noah, Adam, Joseph, Jesus, Abraham. Like, it's all based towards men. And I want to know your opinion. Like, why do you think that is? Do you think it's because men wrote the Bible and they're trying to paint it as men should stay the top and women should just play the background? Like, what's your opinion about that?
Like the phrase "beauty's in the eye of the beholder." It's the same thing with the Bible. Whatever you're gonna read in there, whatever you can read a book and you can get something out of the book the way that you see it. I can read the same book and I'll have a completely different idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
So, you can see and say like, oh, women were evil and they were doing this and this. But the thing is, like, if women were not evil, they would not portray a man in that good light. So now it's a different perspective that I'm looking at it from, that like women, women kind of like they sacrificed, they were feminine, they fell into the darkness, they were dark so that men can be the light. So, I think, I feel like also a lot of times people fall into the religion, or like women fall into the Bible. First of all, I don't know how many people actually understand what's in the Bible.
Right.
I'll be very honest with you, because I'm sorry, when I'm reading the Bible, I'm like, even if I do have a translator with me, it's still like hard to understand what it is. And so I went to this one Bible study. It's actually kind of funny because one of my friends invited me to a Bible study. And it's a different religion. I don't remember what's the word, the name of the religion. I forgot what it was, but basically they believe in Mother Earth and Father Earth. And so the way that they were reading the Bible, they were like going from one verse to another and explaining, why there's Mother Earth, why there's Father Earth, and like why things are connected. So like the way that they read it, and they want to portray it in the way that's going to fit into their religion, into their mold.
Okay.
When the person was reading the inserts of a Bible, she was trying to explain what it means, and I was like, but I said, I don't agree with you. Yeah. That's not what I'm reading.
Yeah. So it's about interpretation.
I feel like it's all up to interpretation.
Yeah. Okay.
In every single way. And every book is, though. And every life is too, because you can live your life and say I have the best life. Somebody will live your life and be like, I hate this life.
Yeah, so it's like you said, at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong. It just is what it is. So it ain't. So what you think happened when you die?
I'm gonna be reborn.
Reincarnation?
I believe in souls. I feel like souls travel, and I feel like, I feel like I'm such an old soul. I feel like I feel like I've had a lot of past lives. Yeah. So I believe that there's going to be reincarnation, because a lot of times, honestly, sometimes I'm like, am I even from this planet or not? Because I just be like in my own world. I've been doing my own thing. I'm just like, I don't know. And sometimes I feel like I have so much depth to me that sometimes I just be wondering in my own self, like, oh, is this or that? And I wonder, like, if people think about those things ever. Like, it's so crazy to me, because I'm not really like, I don't care. Like, I can sit down and have a conversation with anybody, like literally anybody.
That's why you podcast.
Yeah. And, and like when I don't have a conversation, when I can't have a conversation with somebody, it means that I'm like really not interested, or like I don't know. They must be really boring, because it's very rare when I'll not be able to have a conversation. Right.
Yeah. I think I'm the same way a little bit. Like I can sit down and converse with anybody. But if it's boring, it's like same thing. Like, all right, let's wrap this up. Like, cause I don't even know what we talking about. It got to have some substance to it. Yeah. Whenever we speak about anything, like I need to be able to learn something, or I need to be able to teach somebody something. If we talking.
Yeah, and sometimes if it's like boring, I honestly can turn around and be like, "Am I that boring to you?" And I will ask very direct questions, and I'll just very much like pinpoint what's going on, just because I want to know. Like. I'm not scared of you telling me you don't like me. Right. Actually, I don't mind it. Right. Tell me you don't like me. Yeah. Tell me.
I think, but if you don't, well, why don't you like me? Like, because I genuinely would want to know. Would you want to know if somebody was like, well, I don't like you? Would you want to be like, well, what is it that you don't like?
A lot of times people would not have an answer. But hey, if you don't like me, it's okay, because I'm not $100 bill. I think it's actually really cool, because that, to me, that means that people have their own opinion. And they can categorize people what they like, what they don't like, because it's a whole different conversation when you're like, oh yeah, I like everybody. Do you really like everybody?
Right. Yeah, because I know I do not like everybody.
Right. Like, most likely you're not going to like everybody. There's no way. And I always say, like, especially doing social media, I would prefer hate over love because haters, they're going to get obsessive with you. They're going to go and they're going to watch and they're going to put the comments in there just because they're trying to get your attention.
Yep.
So I'm all in with hate. Although the episode that went viral, the Charleston White one, I had so much love on it that I was like, this cannot be true. Like, this is just crazy that it's so much love. Like, there's maybe 3 or 4 negative comments. Yeah. And I'm super easygoing with that. Even if somebody says like, oh, you look fat or you look ugly, I'll be like, thank you for watching the episode.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you for not even watching. Thank you for taking time to comment, because the algorithm don't know if they saying something good or bad. They just know you commenting, so go on, push me even further into the algorithm.
And even whatever YouTube held, because there's a lot of comments that YouTube would hold, if they're like negative or bad or whatever. Yeah. I went on. I posted all of them. Yeah. I was like, I don't care whatever they're saying in there. Let it all go. Yeah. I want it all to be under the episode.
Yeah. Because it just shows engagement. Like these people are engaged. I don't care what they saying. So I want to make a transition. We're gonna spin back about podcasting, but I want to ask you about tennis. Now, you played tennis. What started you to play, and then I want to know. I see you still play a little bit, recreational, but like
play a lot. But
okay, okay. So what put you on that journey of playing tennis?
Tennis has been with my life since I was 4 years old. So my parents, back in Russia, we didn't have money, right? We didn't have babysitters. Everybody had to go to work. Everybody had to, because my grandparents worked in a factory. My dad worked in a factory. My mom, she was making clothes back then so she can make some money. And then later on, she transitioned to having retail stores. So nobody had time to babysit or watch us. And I was 4. And so I kind of started freaking out being by myself at home. I feel like there's a lot of trauma that comes from that, because I vividly remember some nights where it'd be so dark and there'd be something playing on TV and I'd be like some screams or something scary, and I would just like lose it. I would just get so scared because I didn't know that it was on TV. Like, I didn't know, I couldn't rationalize what was going on around me. So I started getting scared, and I would beg my parents not leave me alone there. So, and I have a brother, so I grew up with an older brother, but like my brother would be at a practice or something. And my mom was like, okay, then we're going to take you with us everywhere we go. And so they started taking lessons because my dad's factory just built, my dad does not own a factory. He was working at a factory, and they just built this new tennis complex. It was like the second tennis facility in the city. So there's only 3 courts, and they were all rubber. So like, it's like a very weird surface. And I would just go and I would pick up the balls and I would like grab my mom's racket after their practice, and I would go like try to hit the ball off the wall. And then the coach saw me, and then he was like, she's really interested in tennis. Like, you need to see if she's going to like it. So we have some kid classes that you can put her in. They put me in the lessons, and I was doing tennis like 2-3 times a week. And I got so obsessed with it. I was just I felt like it was like a release of whatever I had. Like, I felt like I was so happy doing it. And I didn't care that it was like 10 people on one tennis court. I was just still there, like just hitting the balls until I made it. I was just so excited, and I was so eager to go to the lessons. So I started playing, and I started playing some tournaments, but then my mom didn't want me to go professional or anything. She just wanted me to learn how to play, and that was the goal. But then I started playing tournaments and stuff, and it kind of like got more serious, and then I got injured. So I quit when I was 14. That's when I went to Australia. I brought my racket. I was still hidden there because I met some people there that were playing. And then, and I quit again. And then when I moved to California, I picked it up randomly because I went to take a PE class, and the PE class happened to be tennis. And so I wasn't supposed to stay in California. The agreement was that I'm going there for 6 months, and I'm going back to Europe if I didn't like it. And so I ended up getting on the team because the coach saw me, and he's like, wait, hold up. He gave me a racket, and he's like, hit more balls. And he's like, be here at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I'm like, I don't have a racket. I don't have shoes. He bought me the racket. He bought me shoes. I ended up playing for the college team there. And then like just tennis just became my life. Like, I don't really play competitively. I'll play in the leagues here and there. I feel like I've done my competitive time. So I just love it as a workout. I love it as a social thing. I also love it because I feel like it's just so impactful. And it really gives me access to so many people. So I adore playing tennis. It's like the most fun.
So would you say like that it takes like some type of discipline to play tennis? And if it does, how does that discipline from tennis like spill over into your regular life?
Well, It takes a lot of discipline to play tennis. Because the thing is, like, you can make the shots today, tomorrow, you got to do the same. So you got to be really resilient.
Yeah.
You really got to be crazy to an extent, because you will stand there and sometimes you will hit the same shot like 100 times.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll make it 20 times. Maybe you'll make it 50 times. You're not going to make it 100%.
Right.
So, like, on average, a professional tennis player makes 56% of their shots. That's like on the highest end, 56%.
Yeah.
A professional who gets paid millions.
Right.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So that's like just a little bit more than a half.
Yeah.
So tennis is a very, like, it really builds resilience in you. And so that's what it really translates into my life, where if I don't get something, I'm going to keep trying until, like, it's either time to pivot or it's time to just, quit it.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this. So we're talking about discipline. Finish this sentence. Discipline saved me because.
Oh, discipline saved me because I never liked the routine. And it really helped me understand that routine is actually what's going to keep me at peace.
Right.
And routine is something, like, now I've learned that I actually love routine. Like, you would ask me 3-5 years ago, I hated planning things. I would just, if I'm going on a trip, it's going to happen a day before. If I'm doing something, it's going to happen the day off. Like, I was very spontaneous. Yeah. And now I need to know what's going on in my life, like, a week ahead. I'm so, like, I need to plan my day. I need to plan my week. I need to plan my month. And I feel like that's what keeps me really focused.
So you would say discipline saved you because it helped you start creating a routine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, I always do stuff spontaneous. If a trip, anything, like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm not even gonna say spontaneous. I do impulsive things. I'm an impulsive person. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Is that a difference, or is that kind of one and the same? Spontaneous and impulsive. Is that kind of the same?
It is the same, yeah. It just depends. Like, spontaneous is when you just, impulsive can be like, sometimes it can go overboard, right? Like, you can, like, splurge or something.
Yeah, I do that. Like,
that's if you can afford it, then why not? Hey,
but sometimes you can't afford it, and you just, because I make a very big purchase, like some crazy stuff, like just out the blue, like, I don't know. I think I need to go to some type of financial therapy or something like that, because that's an issue.
Well, why do you do that? Why do you think you need to do it?
I don't know.
Because sometimes I feel like when you splurge on something, it's like you're trying to prove yourself that you can do it, because there's something else that's missing in you. Like, there's some sort of void that you're trying to cover it up with.
That could possibly be right. You could possibly be right. And I feel like also I'm a creature of habit, because I've done this since I was a child. So, and it may have been something that I was trying to compensate for as a child, and it came over into my adult life as well. So I need to figure that out. And you might be right.
Yeah, I used to be the same. I used to be very much like, I just never really looked at prices. And I would just go and, I'm not saying like I would go and like buy, something that's like thousands of dollars, but like if I'm going to a grocery store, I never knew how much anything costs. Yeah. Until I got left with no money. Right. Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, hold up. This is how much I'm spending, like $200 for groceries. I'm like, what am I buying? I'm just me, myself, and I. Like, what am I, what is this for? And so then I started getting more rational. And now I'm like, you know what? I feel like it's actually kind of cool to have a budget.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. And I do crazy stuff. I go spend $200 at the grocery store, put all the groceries up, leave, and go out to eat. I don't know, like, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. I be doing stuff like that. Like, house full of groceries and still go to an expensive restaurant and eat. Like, that's the type of stuff I need to build discipline when it comes to that.
But here's the thing. I think you need to ask yourself a question. Do I really want to cook? Is that what I
don't want to
exactly
cook,
so why are you buying groceries then?
Because I know I need to cook so I can save money.
But is that realistic though? You're actually wasting more money once you buy whatever you need to cook and cook at the moment that you buy it. Right. Yeah. So it's two different things. You need to be healthy. You need to cook at home, but you still are going to go out and eat. So who said that you need to do it? The society told you, or you actually need to do it as a person?
I feel like I need to do it as a person so I can eat healthier, so I can know what's in my food versus somebody cooking it in the back and I can't see how much salt they don't put in my food or butter, and I shouldn't be eating butter. I should be using oil and stuff like that. So I feel like on a more healthier level, I need to cook.
Do you know how to cook?
I watch YouTube.
Do you enjoy cooking?
No.
Then get a meal plan.
All right.
Because the thing is, if you don't like cooking, if you're not teaching yourself or have discipline enough to be like, okay, I'm going to meal prep. Because some people religiously going to meal prep, and they're going to meal prep for a whole week, and they're going to have containers, and they're going to put it in there. So they buy just enough groceries to cook enough meals for the week.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that sometimes I'll go get groceries. I like to eat at home, but sometimes I'll go and eat out. Like, I'll allow myself like maybe 2-3 times a week when I'm going to go and eat out, unless my schedule is so crazy that the only time I have is to go grab a smoothie somewhere and like, and something very healthy.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I will make sure that I know that I don't eat meat. So I would always have salmon, and I'll always have a salad. Those are the two main things that have to be in my fridge.
Yeah.
So that way I know that if I'm hungry, I got something that I can make.
Right.
So it's like I've singled out things that I don't need to go and buy half of the grocery store. I don't have a pantry full of shit. I don't need it because I'm not going to eat it. I don't eat chips. I don't snack. I don't do none of that. So my pantry does not have any of it. The only thing my pantry has is chocolate, because I love chocolate and I need to eat chocolate. If I don't have sweets in my house, I feel like there's nothing in my house.
Yeah.
So, and I've told myself that because like I get it, but also like I enjoy cooking very healthy food. I'm not going to cook like, something that's out of this world extraordinary, But then if I'm really hungry, I have nothing, I can make something out of nothing. Like some basic ingredients, you can make things.
Yeah. And like, so I cooked last night. I made like some ground turkey, and I chopped up some onions and peppers and put it in, and I made some brown rice and a salad. Mm-hmm. And I made so much, like it could last me for like the next 2 to 3 days. But
Meal prepping.
Yeah, but I'm probably not gonna eat that today. Like, and then this is gonna go bad because I'm gonna go out. Because I don't know. I need to make better decisions when it come to that. I need to
freeze it and then warm it up whenever you're ready to eat it.
Yeah, I've been threw it away. Like, I don't know. I gotta get on track.
But you see what you're doing right now. You're saying I gotta do it, and then I'm not still gonna do it.
Yeah,
and that's like I acknowledge. Well, that's step one. I acknowledge the problem, but I'm not gonna try to fix it.
Right. So acknowledging the problem is step one, and step two is fixing the problem.
At least making a step towards fixing the problem.
All right.
If you think that's a problem,
yeah,
then acknowledging is first. Then the second one is like, okay, what's a small step that I can do towards that?
But I think it's more so like I don't have a taste for that. So you got to kind of force yourself to eat the same thing every day if you meal prepping.
So then when you go grocery shopping, you buy half of the groceries that you bought. You don't need that much ground beef. When you cook rice next time, instead of having a full cup, cook half of the cup.
Okay.
See, it's as simple as that. Right. So I'm saying
you got it. You got all the answers.
Women are more logical than men. It's just it is what it is. I'm sorry.
Why is that?
I feel like we just have common sense.
Oh God, I think that y'all are more logical in certain situations like cooking and stuff like that and shopping. I don't know. Growing up, I've always seen the women do all of the shopping and all of the cooking and stuff like that. I never really seen men really have to handle that because they woman or their mama always handled it for them. So I feel like that's why I lack at it, because I never had to do it.
Do you have a woman right now?
No, but when I did, she did all the groceries. She did all the cooking and everything.
So common sense will tell you if I don't have a woman, then either I'm going to do it, or I'm going to hire a chef, or I'm going to have somebody to meal prep, or I'm going to ask my mom to cook.
Yeah, I think I'm going to ask somebody to meal prep for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's your answer.
Yep.
See, it's so simple. I don't think it's just about cooking or like, man or women. It's just me as a person. Like, if there is a problem, this is mathematical mind, right?
Yeah.
If there's a problem, there's always a solution to any problem.
Right.
There's no math problem that you can't solve. You would have to solve it somehow, right? Because it's like it exists because there's a solution to it.
Yeah.
So if you know the basics, you can apply, the more advanced stuff to it.
Right.
So, okay, if we got what can be the options, and you can just sit down and try to think, okay, like what can be an option? Maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that, and then you come up with a conclusion.
Right. But it's the discipline thing. You have to stay disciplined. That's the I acknowledge that I have a problem, and the thing is I know that I need to just get more discipline so I can do it. Just discipline.
Yeah, or find yourself a woman.
Yeah, we said it like that's easy. Like, just
why is it not easy?
Because it got to be the right woman.
What makes the right woman?
You just don't know. You don't know what makes the right man.
The right man for me specifically is going to be a man who's going to be considered, who's going to know how to communicate, who's going to love me for me.
Mm-hmm.
The man who is spiritual, the man who's got depth to him, the man who is willing to step in and lead. You know, a man who got his finances together.
Right.
So that's going to be the man who wants to be a husband, the man who wants to be a father.
Right.
That's going to be the right man for me.
Right.
So that, and I know that man exists. He might not be
all of that.
He might not be physically right now here with me, but I know that I'm going to manifest that man. I know that man is, I know he's already here. It's just we haven't probably we might have crossed paths already. We might have started establishing that connection, but I feel like I'm so close to getting that man.
Yeah. So all of those things that you named, let's just say he missing like 2 of those things. Would that be like a no-go for you? Or could y'all build up to?
I feel like if we can communicate, again, the most important part for me is like have communication skills and be curious, right? Be like, because I feel like any person is like Play-Doh, right? You can mold them into, you don't have to change them, but you can mold them into what you want, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that like, I'm not trying to create a whole new human. I'm trying to say, for me specifically, this is how I want to be loved. And I'm going to ask him, how do you want to be loved? How can I love you so you feel loved? Because everybody is going to want to be loved different. Right. And I can't predict how some men like to be, listen, they'll be like, I'll spend some time with you, but then I need to recharge. So I need some time. It doesn't mean that I'm talking to somebody else. It doesn't mean that I don't love you, but they'll communicate and they'll say, hey, I just need 24 hours to myself.
Right.
I will have so much respect for that because, you know, I know sometimes I need that time to just recharge, reset, get my mind straight. So I'm not like constantly running into anything. So I'm calm.
Right.
Right. So it's like, I appreciate things like that. So that's the most important part. And I feel like with men right now, they want to behave like in a good way, right? Like they kind of think for you that like, oh, you might not like this, you might not like that. But to me, like, especially when we're all single, right? We're single, we're all talking, and I have a complete understanding that you might be talking to multiple women, right? Because you're trying to date and you're trying to select who is the right woman for you. And I think it's very true that you need to date them all. As a woman, don't sleep with them all. Right. You know, and when Sarah came on my show, she really said that, and I was like, wow. Now I see what she means, because she was like, date them, right. Get to know them, don't sleep with them. And that's a difference between, you know, because somebody would want to date you just to sleep with you, right, not actually to get to know you. And I can clock that so quick now, because there's certain things you're gonna ask or certain things you're gonna say. Like the other day I was talking to this guy, he's like trying to get to know me, right? Trying to get to know me. And I said something about, you know, I haven't seen my family in 10 years. So, you know, I said like, you know, enjoy your Thanksgiving and appreciate the time that you have with your family. Do you think this man responded anything to that?
Oh, you texted him that or?
Texted him that.
Oh. So what was his response? He didn't say
nothing.
Oh, wow.
There wasn't any response. He just said something else and said, ha, ha, ha. I just stopped responding because I'm like,
oh, yeah.
If you can't acknowledge something that I'm sharing a vulnerable moment with you where I'm saying I haven't seen my family and it's Thanksgiving, it's like a family time. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't really care for them. But I also do understand that in the back of my mind is like, this is where Americans spend a lot of family time together. So they all come together. I used to go to people's houses for Thanksgiving. I stopped going because to me, I would leave very sad because I don't have my family with me. So it's like, to me, it was a very... Instead of being a happy moment, it was a sad moment. And I'm very happy for those people. Don't get me wrong. I love that they have such an amazing, beautiful family. But when I left, I always feel like I'm empty. I don't have that because you can't substitute my family. Like, yes, I've created my own family with my friends and everything. Yeah. But still it's not that. Yeah. Like it's not my mom. It's not my dad. Well, I don't really have a relationship with but it's like still, even if it was my dad or my grandparents, it's not them.
Right.
So, yeah. Things like that.
So I know it's not right to ask or polite to ask a lady the age. I'm not gonna ask you unless you want to share. But I heard something. I think it was Steve Harvey. He said men have because we was talking earlier and you had asked me about the marriage thing and I told you that it scares me. And I was sitting as you were talking thinking. The reason that I said that it scared me was like it's so final and stuff like that, and also. Is Steve Harvey said men have a financial clock and women have a biological clock. Like Most women want to be married at a certain age, want to have their kids by a certain age, and most men will not marry until they where they need to be at financially. And that's why I say it scares me, because I know that I'm going to not only be solely responsible for my wife and my kids, but it's just, I mean, yeah, well, that is what it is. I'm just that rock that they're going to be having to lean on, and that's a lot of pressure, because I feel like I am good financially, but to actually know, damn, I really have to hold these people down, like, and they're looking up to me. That part kind of scared me a little bit.
Well, again, I'm a come from a therapist perspective over here. Not that I'm a therapist, but what I'm hearing right now is that you want to be a sole provider.
Yeah.
You don't want your woman to work.
No, I do want her to work, because if something happens to where my finances get messed up, I need to have her to fall back on. Like, so she has to work, but your money that you make, and keep it. You don't have to help me pay the bills, but if something happens, if I break my leg and I can't go out here and make money, like, you gotta come through. Like, so
what's the problem then? Okay, so let's say you meet a woman, she has a job, she works. Now you tell her, keep your money. So she's keeping the money. You need to choose the woman that's going to stack up that money.
Right.
And somebody who's going to be, or if she doesn't stack up the money and she spends it, because sometimes, as a woman, like I never had a month where I didn't pay my rent. So like for the last 14, 13 years, I had to pay rent every single month.
Right.
So I don't know what it's like not to have rent.
Yeah.
So for me, if I were to not pay rent for like 3-4 months, that's going to separate me from where I'm now to where I can be, right? If I don't have to pay like, $10,000 of rent, I will be much further ahead financially right now, right? Yeah. So that puts me in a different mindset. So what I'm saying is that you need to choose a woman that's going to help you triple what you got, because the right woman, she's going to elevate you financially to the extent that you can't even imagine. Right. She's going to build with you. And if you fall down, she's going to step in, and if she doesn't have the money, she'll learn how to hustle, and she will go and she'll figure it out. Again, I can't speak for other women. I know that that's the type of woman I am. You come around me, first thing first, you're going to get some sort of value from me. Right. I don't care what it is. If you just met me as a friend, as somebody on the street, as somebody who you dating, like, I will always ask you questions that's going to make you think. Yeah. So you're going to get some sort of value out of me regardless. And with my man, goddamn, listen, that man is going to be a billionaire. I'm telling you. I'm telling you right now, my man is going to be a billionaire, because I know what I'm worth, and I know what I can do with a man together. Right. So to me, I'm not worried about him being like, you can't be at the top of the mountain, especially like in your 30s, because I want to date somebody who's in the 30s or like maybe early 40s. Yeah. It's still not the end. This is still a journey. Like, I don't need my man to be like, at $1 billion right now, because then it's like, okay, what are we working towards? A lot of times when they hit $1 billion, they're like, we're good, right? Yeah. So I want to kind of like grow that aspect together, because I know that I'm going to be making a lot of money too. So it's like, we're coming together, we're doing it together. So it's not necessarily, I feel like in that scenario is when you meet somebody and you're a sole provider, and that's a different conversation. And like, I know a lot of women now, they want to be, just want to have the soft girl era, but at the same time, you don't have to maybe work per se if, your man is set financially, but have some sort of purpose. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Can you manage his money right? If he has a foundation, are you doing something for a nonprofit? And I feel like a man has got to be on that kind of level for a woman not to work. Yeah. And I'm not saying like, you can have some sort of remote job. You can do something where you love it and it might not bring you a lot of money, but still you're doing something. Right. Yeah. And that's where I'm at with it. Like, if I'm building, like, by all means work and take care of your necessities. And I'm gonna take care of everything that need to be taken care of, trips and all of that. But just if you want to get your hair done and stuff like that, pay for that, because I'm already paying the rent. I'm taking us out to eat or the mortgage, whatever. I'm giving you money for the kids and stuff like that. So just the bare minimum stuff, you should be able to take care of that, because you don't have to pay none of the real bills. I'm holding everything down. But it's like, I'm not saying that I've been in this situation with a woman, but I've seen men taking care of everything, and a woman still got their hand out. Well, I need my nails done. I need my hair done. I need this. I need that. Like, That's insane. Yeah, and it's like, well, damn, I'm doing all of this, and you still want me to do this? Like, I don't know. I don't like that. I feel like it's been this narrative pushed on social media that, you have to just sit down and do nothing. But at the end of the day, you're going to become so boring to you, man. If you don't study, if you don't read, if you don't do nothing, this man is going to keep coming home and he's going to be like, God damn, I just have a dependent. I don't have a wife. I have a dependent.
I got another child.
I got another child. And I don't want to take care of a child. I want to have a partner.
Right.
And you know, my mom taught me from a very young age, no matter what you do, no matter where you are, you need to know how to make your own money. And, you know, for me right now, I'm getting to the point where, you know, I might meet somebody who is very well off financially. Mm-hmm. My biggest fear is, how do I submit to them? How do I, and I know that with the right person, I will be submissive and I'll let them lead. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, what if I would have to move, right? So like I might lose the income that I have. So I might have to rely on a man for like a couple months of, you know, income. Yeah. And to me, it's scary. It's so scary because I'm like, oh my God, how do I do it? And I know me, I know I'm going to figure it out regardless. Like I'm going to make it happen. Yeah. But it's very scary to just let it go and rely on a man. It's like it's a fear of mine, and I'm trying to work on that fear right now because I'm like, if that's something that scares me, so I can't attract that. Right. And so sometimes I think about it, I'm like, man, it's like the opposite. I'm like very opposite of what a lot of women are. Like the women are like, oh, I would love for men to pay my bills. You know, I'm the opposite. I'm like, it's kind of like I would have to give up the control, you know, and it's something that I can't afford, or I can't, like right now man, I would have to accept that. I would have to accept. And I'm okay going 50-50 with a man because it's...
Oh, God, I was going to ask you that later on. Yeah. Because... let's get into it.
Because, listen, as I said, I've been paying rent for the last 13 years. Yeah. I've been paying rent, 100% of rent. If I'm going 50%, goddamn, that 50% is going into my bank account. Right. Like, and the thing is, you know, my nails, they cost $200. I'm not willing to wear press-ons. I want to go to my nail girl and I want to do the nails that I want to do. So I got to be able to make money and I got to afford that. My hair costs thousands of dollars. And to this day, regardless of what's my financial, I'm going to do it because I want to look pretty. I want to look the way I look. I want to, you know, I want to upkeep that. That's important to me to keep the maintenance. You know, I want to make sure my skin is clean. I want to make sure my nails are done. My toes are always done. I want to make sure my hair is always clean. It's always like it got color. I don't have any outgrow. Like I'm very, very particular about those things. Yeah. But it's not up to a man. You know, a man met me like this, so I got to be able to keep up all of this. Yeah. Yep. You know, and I to me, it's bizarre when women are like, give me like money for my nails. I can say it. If I really want a trick, I'll be like, yeah, pay for my nails. Right. But like, that will never be my partner. It'd be like a trick. Yeah. Yeah. I just look at that man as a bag of money. I don't look at him as a partner.
Right. Right. Yeah. And like I said, I can appreciate what you're saying right now because not a lot of women think like that. They know this man is gonna pay for everything. He gonna finance my whole lifestyle, and if not, I'm on to the next. And that is why it's hard to find the right woman because it's so many of those and so little of what you're describing.
You want to know something crazy? So my mom remarried like a couple years ago. And he lives in Germany. She lives in Russia, right? So, like, they have a very interesting marriage. But regardless, every time he comes to Russia, he brings her money. He is under impression that she's blown all that money. My mom is a very smart woman. My mom is a businesswoman. You know, she's made a lot of money. She's lost a lot. She's kind of like coming back with the money that she had. So she went to study finance. She learned finance, and then she started investing. So she like really got out of debt, a lot of debt. Like, mind you, she paid $100,000 for my school. So, and that was all alone. She paid it all off because she was very smart with the way that she's, you know, managing her finances. I have still yet to be there. I'm far off from there. But my mom takes every single dime he brings her and she invested. So he thinks that there is, you know, no money left. Yeah. But she has that money. She does not tell him that this is what we got. Oh. But the moment that, you know, something is going to happen, you know, there's going to be like a tough time or anything, he's under impression they broke, they got nothing. Yeah. She knows they got a shit ton of money sitting in the bank account. Yeah. Not like a shit ton of money for Russia, not for the U.S., but still. Yeah, that's how she is. Okay.
All right. And speaking of your mom, I want to ask you a question. I heard you saying something to, I guess, one of your followers when you was going live. I guess they asked you about like your husband or something like that, and you were like, "Yeah, of course, my husband's going to be black."
Absolutely, my husband's going to be black, 1,000%.
Okay. Now, how does your mom feel about that?
My mom does not care. My mom's going to love whatever I love.
That's what's up.
It's been a lot of conversations with that. So when I first moved to the U.S., my first boyfriend was half black and half Persian. So his mom was Persian and then his dad was black. And so in the beginning, it was a little bit concerning for my parents. Mostly my grandparents, because they're from older generation, so they were kind of like questioning. And then I had to explain to them. I was like, listen, black, white, or purple, it doesn't matter as long as that man loves me. And the thing is, like, my first boyfriend, he really loved me. Like, yes, we didn't work out. It was tough. It was very toxic. My mom met him, and she was like, the way he looks at you, he loves you. We were just kids. We didn't, I didn't know how to communicate. He was overly communicative. I learned so much from him, but I just couldn't apply. Like, every time we'd have an argument, I'd be like, I'd literally sit there for 30 minutes and I would not be able to speak.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was. And he would communicate and like express whatever he feels, and I couldn't be on the same level as him.
Yeah.
So and then, it's just kind of like my mom trusts me. Like, if my mom let me go to Australia on my own when I was 14, then with the choice of my husband, she definitely trusts me.
Yeah.
I can't say a lot, but my dating history has been very, very drastic and bad.
Yeah.
Although I feel like everything has been a learning experience.
Yeah. So I want to know too, like, cause I in conversing with you and seeing some of your stuff on social media, the caliber of man that you I guess dated and talked to and stuff, like, I would assume they were like super, super high caliber, man.
Absolutely. I've dated, I can't say a lot, but I've talked to professional athletes. That's kind of the category that I've stayed in. I got really burnt from that because I think it's like it's a glamorized thing, right? Like, oh, I'm dating an athlete. First of all, it's tough because, like, in the beginning, you can't really, first of all, I'm not trying to go public with it, right? Like, I'm not trying to end up in TMZ. I'm not doing clout chasing. I'm actually trying to get to know the person.
Right.
But again, you know how many other women are trying to get to know the person? Yeah. I don't think they're going to get to know the person on my level, but, they're saying that they're trying to get to know them. And I feel like the people that I would meet, we would talk and then kind of like would transition to being more friends than girlfriend and boyfriend. Yeah. Just because it'd get to the point where I'm like, you cool, but I can't accept that. It's like, I'm not a piece of meat. Right. And the moment I would just kind of fall back, we would, we'd kind of like, would get on the same page. And I feel like the tension would slow down and it would become more neutral. Yeah. And like some of them, I don't know how it works, but some of them, like, I had this one guy that I've dated, made like over $100 million. This man is rich as he's rich as hell. Yeah. But when I met him, he was going through divorce. Mm-hmm. So I became that pillow, that he would like cry on. Yeah. I was that person that was just, having so many conversations with him. And I would just sit there and I would listen to him. And, I have great listening skills, so I can do it. Did I judge him? Maybe a little bit. But I kind of slowly realized that this is not going to be a good relationship because it's just like, I'm not a therapist. Like, I want to be a partner. Like, I'm not trying to just like save you or, treat you or make you feel better. Like, yeah, I would love for you to feel great, but it got too much. And then I started pulling back big time. This man, I don't know what the hell happened to him. He started writing me this big of messages with breaking up with me. First thing happened was I saw him at the gym. He didn't even tell me that he was in Atlanta. I saw him at the gym. He gave me a high five. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow. A high five.
Can you imagine, like, a week before you were, spending nights together and now you're giving me a high five?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And walks in, with a hoodie on, like, as if, I'm like, bro, first of all, this is my gym. Nobody even knows you anymore, okay? Like, yeah, you might have been in the league, you might have played, whatever, you cool. Yeah. But, like, this is my gym. I literally was a member of the month in November. So, like, people know me in the gym. People don't really know him because it's like once you're out of the league, you kind of like, yeah, you're cool, but you're not really. Yeah. And I hate to say it because the man did a lot of work. He's an amazing athlete. I'm just saying, like, in a current setting, I'm more popular than him at that specific spot because everybody knows me. That's my place. Yeah. And so I just, I gave him a high five back and I left. And I remember I was driving and my dog passed away, right? Like a couple months before that. And I was just so sad. I was like, wow, like, this is insane. Like, you spend years talking to this man and we just try to figure out this whole relationship and all he does is give you a high five. I was pissed. And then I go pick up the mail and then I got a card from the vet It's just like showing love to my dog and like, you know, kind of like paying the tribute to the dog. So whenever your dog passes away, they'll send you a card. Like any animal, they'll send you a card. And I was like, oh, I miss Tuna so much. And like, I'm so thankful that he's still watching over me. I was like, I'm fine. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you think? At 3 a.m, I get this big of a message.
Yeah.
I am so sorry. We're better than that. I apologize. I freaked out. I just feel like people are misusing me and like people are mistaking and people are trying to use me for the fame and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, one thing about me, I will never use you for fame. I actually cared for you as a person. And he goes, yeah, that's one thing about you. Like, you've always been there for me. You've always supported me. Like, no matter what, I would always just show up, you know, like he's honestly, if I were to tell you stories, he'd be like, you should have never continued talking to this man. But I was just like, I'm too nice sometimes. Yeah. So then he sends me that. Then like he leaves. I don't hear from him. Then I get this big of a message breaking up with me, and I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like I haven't talked to you in like months. Why are you breaking up with me? Like this is weird.
How is that even considered a breakup if y'all haven't even spoken months? That was already that ship done sailed anyway.
Right, but I feel like sometimes they want to know if they still got it, like if they still have access to me. And I was just like, yeah, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Then he comes back to Atlanta. He calls me and he's like, hey, let's go watch a movie. To a movie theater. And you know, but it's like, again, we're going to a public place and you know, he's going in a hoodie and I'm like, I remember I was like, okay, what time do I meet you? So he's like, well, I'm gonna go in and then you can meet me there. So we go to a movie, he goes first, then I walk into the movie theater. You know, we're kind of like, it's like kind of like a first class chair, you know, like you can lay down and sit there. Yeah. And then when we were leaving, I was like, honestly, because I know how he is, like he doesn't want to, you know, he doesn't want none of that to be public, none of it. So like, and then, you know, sometimes people are going to take pictures or whatever. Right. I don't want that to happen. So I was like, I'm just going to go first and then, you know, you can follow me. And he's like, no, it's fine. I'll walk next to you. I was like, oh, what an honor. And I remember I dropped him off in a hotel and it was like right by my house. And 5 minutes later, I get a message. You're not even, he said, so we're growing now. And I'm like, you broke up with me 3 months ago. You literally sent me this message. So we done. Like, I don't understand what I was like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, oh, you're not even going to come over. You're not going to like continue the conversation. I don't feel like we finished talking. I'm like, bro, what the hell? I was like, no. I was like, you want to talk to me? Meet me for lunch tomorrow. And you know, that man met me for lunch the next day. We sat down, we had a conversation. We talked for like 2 hours in a public place too. You know, people recognized him. People walked up to him, took some pictures with him. And it was a place that I go to. So like the people who work there, they know me. They're like, hey, Lesia. Like, you know, they were nice to me. Then again, he leaves and then sends me another breakup message. And I go like, bro, you need to, I literally stopped responding. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This is insane.
Yeah.
I had other people too. I had another athlete that I was talking to and he told me that he can't talk to me because I have a podcast. And I was like, so you met me when I had a podcast.
Right.
So what that makes you is a hater who didn't believe that I was going to actually make it. And that's on you. That's not on me. And it's just like, I feel like when you get to know them, I want to make sure that we can go a little bit deeper than the surface. Like conversations can go deeper and that like we can actually connect with each other. Right. And at some point, you know, I want to look at you and I want to see a man that if you were to lose everything tomorrow, you have $0, you've got nothing. It's just you. You have no clothes, no nothing. Would I be okay standing next to you and having a conversation? And would I be okay living life with you? And if I look at that person and I say, nah, this is going to be crazy because I can't even picture myself having a normal conversation, I just remove myself. I started doing that because regardless, like, yeah, of course, money is what's going to, like, you know, that's the first thing that you're going to look at. You know, you're going to pull up their contract. You're going to see how they look. You're going to see how they dress, all that flashy shit. But then at the same time, it's like, does he make your heart feel good? Right. Do you feel safe around him? Do you feel like you can be yourself? Yeah. And I recognize I can't. A lot of times I can't. There's only one person who I met who I was myself. I told him, like, it felt like we were best friends, you know? Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know where it's going to go, but it just felt so good. And then at the same time, I'm not trying to force nothing. Yeah. You know,
if you got to force it, then it ain't meant to be.
Yeah, like, I want a man to be after me. Right. And I'm very communicative. So I'll talk a lot, right? Like, I will really, like, I can reach out. I don't mind doing that. I can reach out. But if I don't see any reciprocation, if you don't reach out to me here and there, I already know what type of time we're on. We're not doing that.
Yeah. So how would it be like to go? Could you go from like that top tier down to let's say a 9 to 5 worker?
What does he do at 9 to 5? I'll tell you something. This is my thing. And I've said it before in a podcast, and I remember that podcast never came out because it was a couple years ago, and it was just a horrible experience. I still have my corporate job, and there's an amount of money that I'm making there.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to have anybody making less than that because, to me, if you're in your 30s and you're in the corporate setting, you're settling, and you're okay, and you're most likely pretty lazy.
Right.
And I know that, I know how much money you can make in corporate. You can make like 500,000, you can make 600,000. Like you can be up there.
Yeah.
You can be in sales. You can do, like, there's so many things you can do, but I feel like I need somebody who has like more of a freedom. They're either got to be very high up executives or they got to be business owners. I actually would prefer a business owner because I feel like they're more risky. They're more ambitious. They're more crazy. They're more like, there's a lot more drive. The corporate, it's like a certain mold of people, and I don't know if I like them.
Yeah. I don't know. I ain't never really been around too many corporate people, but business owners, I've been around several. And it is a freedom that you cannot
buy anywhere. Man,
I love it. I love it. Like, just owning a day. That's wealth to me. Just owning your time. Yeah. I love it. So I seen this guy. He said that this is his perspective, and I want to know how you feel. Like, I built up all of this. I got all of this money. I got these cars. I got these houses and stuff like that. Why would I just settle with one woman? Like, when I got all of this, how do you feel about that?
Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's, if you want 5 women, go ahead and have 5 women. Because again, when you made that kind of money, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I just had this NBA player on, right? Torrey Craig. I literally talked to him about that. I said, you have all this money. Why not enjoy life? If that's what you need to do until you're ready to settle down, then go ahead and do that. There's nothing wrong with that. Be a man. Go be a man. Because I bet you there's going to get to the point where he's going to be like, I've had it all. I've done it all. I fucked them all. And I just want to feel loved. Because at the same time, if you're just bouncing from one woman to another, most likely you're not going to connect with them on a deeper level. You're not going to feel love. You're not going to, like, they will never make you feel the way you want to feel because you don't let them feel that.
Right.
Like, you don't let them be in your life. You don't let them to get to know you to that level. Because the moment you give in and you let a woman get to know you on that level, you're going to fall in love. And trust me, men fall in love too.
Oh, yeah.
They fall in love, and it's like sometimes they're going to resist that whole idea of falling in love until it gets to the point when they're going to know they're going to lose a woman. Mm-hmm. And then they're going to be like, oh, shit, what do I do?
Right.
And I feel like that's once a man gets to the point where I'm scared to lose her, that's when you know, oh, yeah, this is because now the value of her being in my life is much greater than her not being in my life.
Yeah. And I don't think I've ever gotten to that point like, damn, I'm scared that I'm going to actually lose her. And so I guess I haven't been in love if I haven't been in that space, would you say?
Yeah, you might have, I feel like I've also been in a lot of trauma bonding because a lot of times I felt like so anxious. Like, are they going to call me? Are they going to love me? Are they going to text me? Are they going to do this and that? And a lot of times I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is wrong with me? Like, sometimes I feel like I'm devaluing myself because I give them so much more power than I give myself. And so I don't really know if I've been in love like that. I feel like love should feel peaceful. Like, I want to feel like I'm flying when I'm next to my man.
Right. Yeah.
And there's time for everything. Like, you still got time to meet your woman. I mean, shit, you can be in your 70s and meet the love of your life. I don't know.
And one thing, because I was in a relationship, and I had never traveled. I didn't get on my first plane until I was 31 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and once I hit 31, I was in my relationship. I took my first plane ride, went out of town, and I was like, oh, it's a big ass world out here. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, I'm in this relationship. I'm seeing all these different women from different walks of life, and they are business owners and doctors, and I'm just like, oh man, like, I done settled down before I seen the world, and it's like, it's so much more out here. So it's like, how do you know when you done met your person if you ain't traveled and seen nothing? All you know is what.
But that's again, so you know how the first thing you asked me, like, how you've traveled so much. I was so blessed because my mom was working with Europe. So I honestly was all like her work travel that I was doing with her, the only reason I was able to do that is because I spoke English. So I figured out that my mom needs a translator because my mom does not speak English, but she needs to talk to her coworkers. She needs to get her orders in because we were going to factories, getting the orders for the clothes and all that. So like I got to see the side of business, but I also got to travel a lot. Like I've been to Germany like 100 times. I've been to Germany so many times. I've been to France many times. I've been to Austria 3-4 times. I've been to Israel. I've been to Egypt. I've been to Australia. Like I've been to Sri Lanka. I've been to China 3 or 4 times. Like I've traveled the world.
Right.
I've seen it all. I've traveled all across America. Like I've seen it all. I've been to Hawaii. You know, I love traveling because to me it's like you go and then first of all you find yourself.
Right.
You know, if you're not comfortable traveling by yourself, you need to try it because the solo travel, that's where you really like get to know you. Like you get to know, do you like to be by yourself? Do you hate to be by yourself? Do you like to get to know people? Do you like to be out? Do you not like to be out? Like, what do you want to do? And so you really get to know you, and then you really get to experience different cultures and different people, and then you kind of find your tribe, right?
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. When I was in California, I kind of felt like I was home, but I also felt like I was kind of foreign there because it's a lot of fakeness. It's a lot of like, you don't know if people really like you. Like you're kind of like, yeah. And I've always been very genuine. Like I would talk to anybody, to a tree. Like I literally, sometimes I go and hug a tree. You know, I'm just this is me. This is just
hey, ain't nothing wrong with that though.
Touch the
ain't
grass,
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you got to get rooted with nature. Ain't nothing wrong
gotta
with
get
that.
rooted.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
But when I came to Atlanta, I feel like people are so nice. Like people actually ask you how you're doing, and they actually care to know how you're doing.
That's that Southern hospitality.
That's the Southern hospitality, and that's why I connect so much with Black people because I feel like there's so much depth in the conversation. Like the other day, I was with somebody who was very wealthy. Like this man is so wealthy, and he had his friends. You know, we were at the table. It was like 2 couples with little kids and one of the moms of the couples. We sat there for 3.5 hours. Everybody's Black, right? We sat there for 3.5 hours, and we had the most genuine, the most amazing conversation. That you leave that conversation like, wow, I feel like something amazing just happened to me. Like this experience is different than sitting down and having like a small conversation or a gossip or some shit that like
spiritual connections and stuff like that. Everybody was on like one accord and stuff like that.
And I feel like
that's hard to get.
Oh my God. But with Black people, it's like, I feel like you really can connect. Mind you, sometimes, you know, especially with men that I date, sometimes I see potential and I date potential versus the actual man. Because I really like envision a lot of things about the man. Like I really see, when I look at the men, I was like, oh, I see what's going on here. Yeah. But a lot of times they don't see it in themselves. So I kind of fall into a trap of doing it. So I'm very aware of that.
Yeah. Hold on, because a lot of my questions that I have, we done already talked about them, the 50-50 thing. So I want to get back to your podcast and dating because you did say that in one of your episodes you said that men, they feel insecure about your podcast. So what do you think triggers that insecurity?
Okay, so there are a couple things. There are a couple things that happen. I feel like, first of all, they would feel like I'm getting attention from a lot of other men, and I feel like they have this feeling that they're gonna lose me. So I feel like that's the insecurity where they don't think that they've got enough value. Little do they know, I rarely respond to my DMs. I'll read DMs, but chances of me responding, and even like, you know, even if I'm gonna have, let's say that like I'm talking to somebody, and I would have like an athlete hit me up, right? I already know what the athlete is wanting. He doesn't want to date me. He just wants to like, you know, hook up with me maybe here and there. Maybe he's coming to Atlanta. Maybe he has a game in Atlanta or something. So like, I already know what type of time we're on. So like, I'm not even going to entertain that because if I have a man, like, then I'm not looking anywhere. I'm like, that's my man. I'm with you. I don't really, my eyes are closed. Like, that's the only thing I see. Like, it's just you and I. But a lot of times, like, I feel like they already have that idea that, oh, I'm going to lose her. Like, she's going to slip away. She's going to slip away.
So then it's not you, it's just an insecurity that they have in them. And it's something that they need to deal with because you're in a good space. You're podcasting. You're an entrepreneur. So why would they feel insecure because you're making money?
Well, a lot of men don't want that, right? A lot of men don't want, they're secret haters. Men are just, you know, a lot of, like, you probably even know by yourself, like you have friends who don't want you to be more successful than them. You know, and then like I feel like because people know that regardless of what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get where I want to go. Like I'm gonna be very successful with anything that I put my mind to because I'm a very hard worker. Like I will outwork anybody. I will literally stay if I have to stay up 3 nights in a row. I'm gonna stay up 3 nights in a row.
I'm the same.
I don't care what it takes. Like I'm very determined. I'm very resilient, and so it scares a lot of men because it's it's a masculine trait. So like they don't want that. They also feel like they can't control me, and they can't. Nobody can control me. I'm the only person who can control me.
Yeah, but who want to control somebody? Like I know I don't want to be controlled, so I damn sure ain't trying to control nobody.
Insecure man, they want to control you because if they can control you, then like that's again that goes back to like, oh, let me pay your bills.
Yeah.
Now what that does is like now that puts them in control. Or like another thing, I heard this guy, he was telling me that like this girl was on FaceTime with him every night, falling asleep, and he's like, I just got so tired of it. That's another form of control. She wants to make sure you're falling asleep with her, not with another woman, with her. So I feel like that's what it is. It's a lot of insecurities. It's also, I don't think that they believe in me that like I'm actually going to get there. Or maybe like, I don't know, maybe it's like either they think I'm going to get too big or they don't believe in me. They think I'm doing some bullshit. I also know for a fact that some men are scared that I'm going to talk about them. They think that I'm going to just like blast them. But again, don't do dumb shit. It's as simple as that because I have committed to sharing my life because you never know who that's going to get to, and maybe there's going to be another woman that's going through the same experience.
Nah, for sure.
Or another man that's going through the same experience, and they're going to be like, oh, I'm not alone with this. Like, oh, this is happening to other people. I also want to show that, because people think like, oh, you're white, you're pretty, so you get it easy. Do I really get it easy? Do you know what it takes for me to do what I do? Do you know what I go through on a daily basis? And so I try to share that so people can see that like, hey, yeah, I know she talks this and that. Like it sounds like she's very smart. She's very rational. She's very logical. But then again, I have really messed up dating experiences. So I'm sharing them because I know that's kind of also like my accountability for it. And so I had one guy who told me, he's like, I feel like every time you do your solo podcast, you talk about me. And I'm like, well, I'm not talking about you, but hey, go ahead, think that.
Right. But I mean, as long as you're not saying his name, then why do it matter?
I would never say no names.
Yeah.
It's a thing of mine. I would never mention no names unless I'm talking to like a fellow colleague and behind the scenes, I can say, this is the person that's coming out. This is the person who I want to have on, or this is the person who I've interviewed and I haven't released the teaser yet. I haven't like let anybody know that I'm doing that. That's the only time I'm going to mention any names.
So do you think men now, do you think they're more jealous or they're just more fragile?
Men in general, or the men that try to date me?
Yeah, with your situation. Excuse me.
I think they're very fragile. There's, I actually started feeling that recently. There's been multiple men, and I feel like because, like again, I study a lot, I read a lot. I really take time to feed my brain. I really enjoy that, and so I feel like they're scared that they can't keep up with me. So I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know what it's like, but it's very much sometimes I feel like I've got more power than them, and I don't want to feel like that.
Right.
I want to feel like I'm on the same page with my man, or like I actually want to look up to my man. I really want to just like feed me spiritually, feed me mentally, feed me emotionally. I really want to like, I'm a learner. I love to learn from people. So if we're not on that page or if we're not on that level, it's going to be very hard to date me.
Yeah, so do you feel like a man can lead a woman who has influence?
I feel like a man can lead a woman who has influence. Absolutely. Why not? The thing is like, that's what I'm saying. If it comes to the right person, I had one experience with this one man where we were choosing a movie. And I turned around and I said, listen, I make so many decisions in my life. I don't feel like choosing a movie right now. He goes, that's okay. Sit down, relax. He gave me a hug and he's like, and I was like, I don't know, Mama. I started like just like rambling because I started sharing how I feel. And he's like, just shut up. He gave me a hug.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm safe. I'm peaceful. And I was like, whatever movie he puts on, I'm going to enjoy it. I don't care if I don't like the movie. I'm still going to enjoy it because it's not about the movie at the end of the day. It's about the experience that we're sharing.
Right.
And so to me, that feeling is so much greater than the feeling of watching a good movie.
Right. Right.
I would never go off on a man because he chose a bad movie or he chose a bad restaurant. I don't give a shit where we're going as long as I'm with you. We're gonna have fun. Like We're gonna make it fun if we have to. If we go, I used to be this girl that's like, take me to a steakhouse. Now I'm like, can we go on a walk? Can we go on a coffee date?
Yeah.
Can we get some matcha?
That's growth and maturity that you're speaking of right now.
Yeah, like take off all your chains. First of all, I don't like men that wear chains. I'm sorry.
I love my chains.
That's too feminine for me. I don't like
How
that.
is it feminine?
It's just like, what are you trying to flash for? What are you like? You baiting for something? What are you trying to like get?
No, it ain't a bait. It's just I like it. I like it. And in our culture, we were kings and things of that nature, and we wore jewelry and things of that nature. So
Well, kings wore crowns. I don't see a crown on your head.
yeah, I would probably look like a fool with a crown on my head.
Well, shit.
But this is
Put it
my
on.
crown. This is my crown around my neck.
Yeah, I feel like it's too feminine. I'm not like, if a man is wearing chains, that's the least thing I'm gonna be attracted to.
Yeah.
I don't like, and it's like it's got to depend what kind of chain. Like, you know, if it's like a tennis chain in a very like different pattern than, you know, what everybody has, or like Cuban chains is an absolute no for me. It's just I don't like it. It's personal preference. I don't like that.
Yeah. And that is your preference, and you are more than right to have that. But I don't know, me personally, it ain't for attention from women or anything, because a lot of women don't like jewelry. Like my ex, she couldn't stand that I wore jewelry, but it's a personal thing that I like. For me, it's a trophy for me. Like, I accomplished this, and I'm going to buy. This is my trophy. I started my podcast. This is my trophy. I bought a chain, not this one, but my other chain. And you would probably hate it because it's huge as fuck. But that was my trophy that I bought myself, because we don't get trophies for our accomplishments. Like, that was my trophy to myself. So that's why I wear my jewelry.
Hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
But you know, let me ask you this. Have you ever thought, when you're going to get married, what kind of ring you're going to buy, or like what's the budget you're going to have for the ring?